Hello? Thanks for listening to the Food Scientist Podcast. I'm assuming you're going to keep listening after the intro, so... I am your host, Amy Zajac. I'm here with Brian Pierce.
Hey everyone, please keep listening.
And Danny Sussman.
If there's a reason you don't keep listening, it's probably going to be me.
Yeah,
we're not really disagreeing, are we?
No.
We'll go through our food experiences of the week. We're going to talk about a limited edition Pringle, something called Kaleidos, and the international snacks we did not get to last week.
Because Amy wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah, we just yabbered on and on and on and on.
Just tip your waitresses.
So guys, what kind of food experiences have you had?
Well, I need to take us back a few months ago because we talked about the cereal milk. Do you remember that? It was
yes.
I can't forget it because you made me eat a spoonful of it.
Yeah. Well, this was that powdered stuff that you poured in milk, and it was supposed to taste like the milk that was left over from your Frosted Flakes.
Without the hassle of eating cereal.
Right.
Yeah, so a unique topic, but I have still had that in my cupboards.
You kept that?
I kept it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. And I tried some of the Frosted Flake, and I put more than what they suggested. It actually wasn't bad.
That was the one that was just sugar.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
And milk, well, yeah.
It tasted really creamy, and yeah.
But there was no ingredient other than sugar, was there?
It was pretty much
there
just
was
straight
one
up
more ingredient,
sugar.
but it was sugar.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a flavoring. It was like sugar and
No, that was the one, the ingredients list was very short.
Sugar, powdered sugar, and then flake sugar.
Yeah, but it tasted like Frosted Flakes, but like it had more of a body in the milk.
So just adding
more of the
sugar
powder.
to your... So how fatty was your milk? Was this whole milk 2%?
This was 1%.
Okay. So
which already has more carbs than whole milk.
Well... But it would be a little more runny, like less thick than a whole milk.
Because I did try them after we recorded that episode. I did try all of them again and had the same results as we had on the episode. Not bad, but definitely not worth making the 30 seconds that it takes to make it. But I was like, shoot, I'm going to try again with more. And yeah.
I'm interested in that, in adding sugar to the milk, because I've been playing with like making some infused liquors at home. And I want to make some like nice creamy cocktails.
Ooh.
I made some creme de cacao, and it's super. It's basically right now it tastes like super dark chocolate vodka, and so I was like mixing that with some milk. But I was figuring out how am I going to add the creaminess. I could blend it. I could do the ice cream too.
Milk alcohol doesn't always.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's
hard.
hard.
A lot of the cocktail recipes call for heavy cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
Keep us updated if you
I also have a creme de menthe, so we could do some homemade grasshoppers.
You could.
All right.
With mint from my garden.
I don't have much in the way of a food experience. I bought another one of Sarah's Tipsy Pies, but I haven't shared it with you.
Yeah, there was nothing baking when we walked in the studios this week.
It's the blueberry one that she recommended.
Oh,
so maybe we'll have it next week.
And I found some pictures of my the onion and Gouda one.
Oh, yum.
At the State Fair. I almost wore my Sarah's Tipsy Pies pin, so maybe next week.
Yeah, because people will watch us.
Sarah's now
people know what accessories we're
podcast.
wearing on here.
Sarah's a friend of the podcast.
She is a friend.
We like Sarah.
Yeah.
So, Danny, like I said, mine was short and sweet.
Wow, yeah, we kind of
So
those episodes.
I'll just long story longer, like I usually do. So I went to a Mongolian barbecue, and it made me think.
Yeah.
I love Mongolian barbecue.
It's a buffet.
It is?
It's an all-you-can-eat experience. Now, there's the Chinese buffets that have a Mongolian barbecue element.
But then there's the Mongolian barbecue,
this is the one
star of the show.
It's just that. And so the one I went to presents an interesting challenge.
Mm-hmm.
They have a happy hour dinner where it's $2 less.
Mm-hmm.
But you only get one trip through the line.
Oh.
So you have to kind of decide how you're going to do this. So it got me thinking, we haven't really discussed Mongolian.
Yeah, it is a unique buffet experience.
It is a unique buffet experience, and there's ways to maximize it. And then I had this additional pressure of I can save $2 and do one trip through the line. And I have a very specialized technique that I can talk about, but I'm curious for your takes too. Mm-hmm. Because the way that they set up the Mongolian barbecue, like their food line is a trap. right?
Oh, yeah.
Because what they do is when you get the food back, it's on a platter.
Yes.
But they give you a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And a bowl, right, if you think about the concave nature of the bowl, the bottom of it is the most narrow and it gets wider. And so then what do? They present you with a line where the first thing that they show you is the meat. Right? You have the frozen kind of curled up meat. So if you put that in the narrowest part of the bowl,
it's going to look fuller.
It will look fuller, but you're not going to take as much, right? Because you also need to leave room for everything else. Then the next thing is the noodles, which are bulky, and now you're at the widest part of the bowl. And then you get to the not as expensive as the meat, but also expensive veggies. And now you have to kind of balance them on top, and it's difficult. Right? And then you have the sauces, and then you give it to
I would not do the once through option. I would pay the $2 extra.
No, so I did the once through, but I did it in my maximizing way, which is I don't go through that line in order.
Yeah, you should put the meat on top to pack it down.
So there's two things. You're close. And one thing that Renee does is she doesn't use the noodles at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
What she does is she uses the bean sprouts.
Okay.
Because those, when they're stir-fried, you get almost the same texture as noodles, but it's not the bulky.
Some of us just like bean sprouts.
Right, but it's not going to be...
Some of us are the host.
Yeah. It gives you like that same kind of noodle feel, but it doesn't take up nearly as much stomach space as the noodles would. So this is what I did. Is I went through first, I threw some sauces into the bottom of the bowl. I started there, because those will come to the bottom.
Yeah.
And when they sauce it, they just use like that soy sauce water that makes everything taste the same. So the key is to deliver them as much moisture with the flavors you want before they ruin it with theirs.
Do you not have the option to add your own sauces and seasonings?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like
okay.
But during the cooking process, now some Mongolian barbecues will actually have like 4 to 6 sauces that the cooks will add, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah, and some will let you choose what kind of sauce. Like
I've always been the one to choose mine.
Right, you add your own to the bowl, but like once you hand it to the guy, at some of them they just add water, like to keep it from sticking.
To help it steam.
Yeah, or they have it's like a soy sauce water mix, but you don't get to choose what they do, and so you want to do all of your own saucing and deliver it with enough sauce so that they don't have to add more of their own flavor-ruining juice. Sauces in the bottom of the bowl. Then I do add some veggies, but it's mostly like the garlic from the sauce area. Onions, like some green onions. I do like some sauteed peppers in there. So I have my minimal peppers. So that actually fills the bottom of the bowl. So now I'm at the widest point. And at that widest point of the bowl, that's when I go back and I add the meats because you don't want them falling. And so now I can load in like just a ton of, if I do chicken or beef, like right there. And then I take the noodles and I balance them on top of the meat because they're the cheapest. And they're also,
so if there's a man down, then you're
losing noodles. And the noodles can actually, they're sticky enough that they can hang down off the sides. Like you can put like a noodle hat on your thing basically, and have a ton of noodles on top, and it's okay, right? Because it will
stack easier.
It will stack. Like the meats are gonna have a hard time piling really high, so then you top it with the noodles, and then you bring it over. That's how I do it. I've also seen people recommend using the zucchini strips. I'm using like 4 pillars to add some support.
I don't get that technical with it.
Yeah, that's why you're the host.
I do, but I do similar with that. I try to maximize my meat versus and I don't use noodles. Well, I have used noodles in the past. I would say when I was brand new to Mongolian barbecues.
She was a noodle user.
Back
in the day.
And she found Jesus.
And went to Pizza Ranch. So when I was new to Mongolian barbecue and new to cooking in general, so newly late teens, early adulthood,
Just a few
You
years
just
ago.
ate raw. They didn't have. Are you that old that they hadn't invented cooked food?
No, they.
Before your teens?
But I hadn't.
You were
been
good
cooking
at
much.
cooking.
I do things I liked, but I didn't know how to get those flavors made, if you know what I mean. So I just threw in the meat and the vegetable and went, sure, I'll try a little garlic. I made the blandest Mongolian barbecues is where I'm going. And now that I know how to cook and I know what all the different flavors and seasonings are, and I've had more buffet and Mongolian barbecue experience, I don't put my meat on the bottom of the bowl either.
I feel like we all had to learn these lessons. You know, for me too, it was college, so it's like you're not worldly yet. You don't know how these things work.
Yeah, how do you approach the Mongolian?
I get as much meat as possible. I mean, really, that's my goal. I'm not going to go for the peppers or the onions as much. So, I maximize the meat experience.
Which meat do you go for?
Usually chicken, to be honest. Yeah.
I did.
With the sauces that they have, that seems to suit it the best.
I look at what the meat looks like. It's usually chicken or beef, but I will have taken some of the others before.
I go with the chicken because the beef tends to be not good beef.
That's why I do it based on how it looks.
You know what? If I get
it's more steady.
If I get a second bowl, what I will sometimes do is just beef and onions and soy sauce, and just do a little stir fry of that. Of just basically grill up some beef that way.
And I love shrimp, so if they have shrimp, I will take shrimp.
Yeah, they tend to have such small, almost baby shrimp. I feel like they probably were raised in pollution.
I will say
it depends what it looks like. I won't always take it.
I do enjoy that they have the option of only having one trip, because that's a place where if I get enough, I don't feel like I need to go back.
Right.
It feels like a meal. I'm not in the buffet mindset of, what else do I want to try?
Well, see, as a host and a veggie lover, I have a 2-trip strategy.
Okay.
My first trip is maximize the meat.
Okay.
The second trip is I love veggies. So I don't necessarily maximize the veggies, but I make sure I get the veggies I like and the sauce I like. And
I forgot to add, I always add pineapple. I feel like pineapple is the secret sauce.
Oh, yeah, especially if I've got chicken.
Yeah, of the Mongolian barbecue. So that was in the bottom of the bowl with the veggies, was the pineapple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that also is not going to stack easily.
Yeah.
You got to find those things so that you can use to make Lincoln Logs and just build your own little...
You know what I have seen people do? Because I was actually looking at the menu to see if it said one trip or one bowl, because I have seen people overflow into 2 bowls and then give them to the cook. Do one bowl of all the meats and another bowl of all of the veggies and the noodles, and just come up with a monstrous serving. I didn't look to see if that would trigger the extra $2 charge. I think it said one bowl.
I feel like it would.
Not one trip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I haven't had Mongolian barbecue in a long time. Now I want to go.
Yeah, you should. But like you said, lunch also is one bowl.
Generally.
Generally.
It seems like that's usually the thing. Yeah. So there you go, folks. If you're going to a Mongolian barbecue, there are some strategies for you for that unique buffet experience.
In one bowl.
In one bowl. Okay, so moving on to something completely different. Danny found a new limited time only Pringles at, where was this? A 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
These are 7-Eleven exclusive. So I have a question for everyone.
Yeah.
So the Pringles are 7-layer dipped Pringles.
Yes.
And they're really good.
What are these 7 layers?
Yeah.
7-layer dip?
Okay, let's Family Feud style.
Lettuce?
Lettuce is one. Sour cream.
Okay, lettuce
cream.
is not one of them.
Sour cream.
Sour cream is one of them.
Tomatoes. Or salsa.
So you're looking at the package. That's
I know what 7 layers are without looking.
Okay, then don't look.
Sour cream.
Sour cream, 1.
I already said that one.
And I said tomatoes.
Tomatoes is 2.
Olives.
Olives is 3.
Beans. Or refried.
Refried beans is 4.
Cheese.
Cheese is 5.
Beef. Or meat.
Meat is not one of them.
Okay, what about guacamole?
Oh, yes.
Guacamole is 6.
We need one more.
I got my quota.
I said lettuce. I always do lettuce.
You said you could do it without looking, and Brian's doing the heavy lifting here.
I said all of these, too. We're just sticking with the same.
Did we say tomato?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
tomato, cheese,
although I would say
cream, beans.
It's a relative of tomato.
Salsa?
Yeah, salsa.
Okay.
I said that after I said tomato.
Well, here's what I'm going to read, because actually when I read this description, it names 8 things.
I would add jalapeno.
So refried beans, guacamole, sour cream, salsa, cheese, tomatoes. They said green onions, but that's not a layer. I'm sorry. I won't even count it. And olives in a chip.
The interesting thing is I do not enjoy 7-layer dip. I know you're surprised.
I also think like 7-layer dip is a disgusting abomination.
I don't think it's disgusting. It's just kind of pointless. Because you'll try to drill down all the way to get all those flavors.
Yeah, you need a sturdy chip.
I don't want just the sour cream flavor layer. I'll get there.
There's so many things like I don't want sour cream ever. I don't want.
I don't like sour cream on my Mexican.
I don't want olives on anything.
Yeah, I didn't hate these chips though.
I like these chips a lot.
These chips tasted like tacos to me.
Yeah, very similar, but it also tasted like dip.
Yeah, I got a hint of the dip flavor, a hint of the olive and like the guac or avocado. I don't know. It was just really good. And I'm trying to figure out this picture. There's party hats on the Pringles of different colors.
And they're jumping into the 7-layer dip.
Yep.
Yeah. I was looking at the ingredients trying to figure out what did they use to get the flavors. And a lot of it
artificial.
They did use a lot of powders of different things.
Well, always, yeah.
Paprika is in there. I'm trying to think of what the paprika is representing. Probably...
you know what? That's why I think it probably to me tasted like taco seasoning.
Yeah, because it's the closest.
And salsa. Mm-hmm. When I was down in Texas, there was a vendor that was selling, and I sampled it twice because I torture myself. Something only Amy and this person would love is a pickle salsa.
Oh.
And so it used no tomatoes, only pickles.
Oh,
but it
sounds awful.
It was red.
Sweet pickles, still pickles.
It doesn't matter. It tasted like pickle. I asked them.
Basically, it tastes different.
What they said is they started out as like making relish, and then when they added seasonings that turned it red, they were like, "We could call this salsa."
I have heard of pickle salsa. I've never had it.
Yeah,
don't know if I'd like it or not, even though I like pickles. It seems like
but the paprika, it's a generic thing. You generally find it in a
lot of things.
A lot of things that are like
chilies, all sorts of things.
But I'd say
place here. Goulash.
Yeah, 7-layer dip is like vaguely Mexican. I don't know if you would get it in Mexico, but it's a lot of
it's
things American.
Yeah, it's kind of a hint of bean flavor too. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's my favorite flavored Pringle.
Yeah, the 7-layer dip, it is a lot of work, and I don't like the textures of a lot of the things.
I will say, of all of the Pringles I had, this is the one that tasted the least like a Pringle. Like,
oh really? I still got the chip though.
Well, it's not a chip; it's a crisp.
No,
We've gone over this.
No.
But I got like way less of the underlying weirdness of Pringle. Because there was so much flavor going on.
And I'm going to say they had the flavor powder much better distributed on these than we've seen on so many others.
Like that might be top ramen chicken.
Yeah, it's not just like a blotch on part of the Pringle.
The super spicy
ones. Even, yeah.
Sadly, here in Minnesota, where the studios are located, we don't have 7-Eleven.
I know.
But if you are in our listening area and have a 7-Eleven, limited time only.
It amazes me how some of these places get the exclusives. Like, who's being like, hey, 7-Eleven, you want to work with us, with Pringles, to have an exclusive.
7 and 7.
They should be called 7-Eleven layer bar. Or bars. Dip.
That's very Minnesotan.
That is very Minnesotan right there. But
okay.
Yeah, 7-Eleven for these. We also have from Kroger's.
Speaking of stores not in Minnesota.
Yes.
I miss Kroger's.
Kroger's has Kaleidos, which are their version of Oreos.
Well, they're sandwich cookies.
Yes,
their version of Oreos.
Yeah, they're knockoff, but these are not Oreos.
These are not the chocolate ones. No,
these are raspberry cream, not
popping
Oreos.
Candy.
Yes, raspberry cream, golden cookie, popping candy in them.
I bought these only for the pop. They had all different flavors of Kaleidos. The one I saw with popping candy. You know I love that.
Yeah.
And I know Brian hates that.
It's so unnecessary.
I will say this. This is the perfect example of why it is necessary. Because these Kaleidos, like the cookies, were kind of soft.
They were soft, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like crunch like a cookie. The raspberry is like kind of...
And the cream was nice and mushy.
The cream is like, but it's like a weird...
Unlike the wasabi cream from a few weeks ago.
Oh my goodness, those Chinese Oreos.
Yeah. But the cream is like a weird raspberry flavor. It's not very good.
It's that imitation raspberry
flavor. It smells very... Yeah, it smells very
The smell is boom in your face of fake raspberry.
But then the thing starts popping in your mouth and you can't stop smiling, and it's fantastic.
I actually kind of like these.
Yeah, because it's like MSG. It makes things good even when they're not.
Popping, just the...
Yeah.
I think I was expecting worse with the smell.
Yeah. So I was eating these. I was like, oh, these are kind of nice. It's a different kind of texture to the cookie. The cream is, it's better than I thought. And then a rock concert starts going off. And
you're like dancing.
And I'm like, you kids, turn that down.
Right, and I'm like taking my shirt off. I'm like, woo, rock and roll.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is...
showed up.
Yeah, I was like, this is not...
Roxanne. Sorry, you said the police.
Yeah, I was like, exactly.
It's the
right, the red light was on.
You don't have to turn the light on though with these. It's
I'm eating them. I'm like, oh, this is the epitome of a Oreo.
Yes.
And then it all changed. The popping candies, and I was so happy, and I can't stop eating them for the popping candy.
They would be so much better without the popping candies.
False.
They don't pop. They pop, but they don't pop that much.
So good.
You can if you just chew them and swallow, you're not going to get all the...
But that's going to be in your
You're not going to get all the Roxannes. So.
Yeah, no,
pop Roxannes.
You're not going to get the party in your mouth, and who would you want the party?
I took the top off and just put the cream. No, of the cookie, not of
not just like, I got to get naked. This is so fun.
They're both eating the cookies, more cookies, so that tells you something, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to get the popping in the microphone, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's
not going to happen.
I'm trying to get the cream off of this awful cookie so I can just have the party. It's not working. It's a weird cream.
There are a lot of, if this is all popping candy, there are a lot of little bits in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the bits don't taste like grass.
They don't.
Because people often think bits and Oreos taste like grass.
Or the earth.
Well, not the Pop Rock ones. Those are magic.
I'm just laughing at these guys.
Our mouths are open in front of the microphones, but
we're trying to capture it.
I don't think it's coming
across. They finished their cookies.
It's so good, bro. Like, we've never both said we don't like something and kept eating it until this.
Well, you don't hate these.
Do you like this, Brian? This is a good cookie.
If these were in your house, would you keep eating them?
No. That's not a question. The question is, do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
No.
Would you? But you keep eating it.
Yes.
Right. So that's.
It's a cookie.
It's like a bad relationship.
Yeah. It's sweet.
No, this is a bad relationship where you need to get out, but you keep going back for more.
But it's here and it's safe.
Right, and you know what? And it just like parties. Like, it's just like it's got that certain something with the popping candy.
It doesn't taste bad. It's just annoying.
It's exciting, but it has that certain something that you keep coming back.
I want to dunk these in cereal milk. One of those cereal milks.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring some home and dunk them in the cereal milk.
Why the cereal milk? Why not just regular milk?
Because I'm just combining things.
You're just a host.
You know what? They should have made cereal milk that tasted like Fruity Pebbles.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
No. Anyway, side note.
Okay, on to...
the international snacks that we didn't get to last week.
Yes, and there were so many. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, I guess.
5, technically.
5, really,
yeah. Because 2 of one thing.
We had something called a Today croissant. There were 2 kinds of that.
Oh, yes, and these were from Turkey.
From Turkey.
But purchased at...
Purchased in Minnesota.
But which store?
That was at Holy Land.
Oh, yeah. So very local.
Individual wrapped croissant.
Croissant. That are good.
Filled with something.
They're individual wrapped, filled croissant from Turkey. Best Buy. Now, here we are. It's October 2018.
Late October.
They've been shipped to America from Turkey, and yet they are still good until June of 2019.
Yeah, that's really surprising for a bread product that has butter.
Especially a croissant. Flaky. That's a lot of shelf life.
They also give you heating instructions.
They did.
Yeah, so we tried these. Did we say what the fillings are? One is a chocolate hazelnut.
A.k.a. Nutella.
Yeah, not Nutella, though. They didn't get that
they didn't
licensing.
Pay for the name.
And the other one was sour cherry. So we tried both
jam
of them.
Inside.
Yeah, it tasted like the little packets of jam that you get from Smucker's. That's what it reminded me of. It was good.
Yeah, they were fine.
I would imagine that, elsewhere in the world there are vending machine croissants. And this is a vending machine croissant.
Yeah.
Croissant. I just like saying
croissant.
That.
Yeah.
Croissant.
They were, they were individually wrapped, so it's easy to keep that shelf life there for the croissant.
I will say, these things could seriously get crushed. Like, I noticed, a difference between the ones that Amy heated and the ones that you and I, Conan the Barbarian, apart. Hers was like it was pretty easy to compress this thing.
Well, that's true of croissants in general.
Right. But
a croissant should be flaky.
Right, but if you
by the time you tear a real croissant apart, it's kind of flat.
Right, but if you have a croissant that's been hanging around for a year, the odds of it not getting crushed are slim.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how much they have in terms of preservatives in there, but I mean, they tasted all right. They tasted like something that you would buy packaged, but they were fine.
It did make me wonder why we don't see vending machine croissant in America.
Or just
croissant sandwiches, because they have vending machine sandwiches. Not that I endorse those.
They can be all right when you're in a pinch.
You're right. You're thinking more of the Wheel of Death.
Yes.
I was thinking more of the chip and candy bar machine, because these would fit into that. The Wheel of Death and the sandwiches, that's a whole other deal. But you could put these in those.
Yeah, you definitely could. I mean, as long as they're sealed, I don't see why not. They have a super long shelf life. The packaging says they recommend eating them for breakfast or put it in your lunch.
I would do that.
Yeah, they're an anytime snack, I would say. I
guess it's one of those international mysteries. I suppose that there's probably some market research person that has realized that Americans aren't going to buy that.
Yeah, what I really loved about the packaging is it's intentionally made for international sales because there's every language.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's the
back of the box was just
you need the Rosetta
I would
Stone.
say it was just it wasn't just letters. It was letters in Arabic and just different languages, not even just using the same alphabet.
Yeah, this was a big
Chinese,
package,
Korean.
And it's several lines. Half the packaging is the difference.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like that. But I like these heating it. I don't know if that really did anything.
Yeah, heating it, I didn't notice a difference.
Yeah.
It was, usually baked goods are better warm. This was tasted the same.
But I think it's the preservatives. I think that there's so much in there.
You weren't going to help these with heat.
Yeah.
But I'd grab one in a pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also tried something called a crunchy rice roll.
Yeah, the rest of the snacks I found at Marshall's, which maybe have other names depending on where you're at.
Also owned by TJ Maxx, right?
Yeah.
They both have.
They look like, though they don't feel or taste like, if you made a Rice Krispie bar and rolled it, but it's less gooey, it's harder, it's crunchier.
I think it looks...
And it's not as sweet.
If you took a rice cake and then you sent it and said... you showed it like a pecan nut roll and said, hey, rice cake, why don't you look more like a nut roll?
Well, it doesn't look like a rice cake to me. It's less dense.
It's rice cereal.
The puffed rice.
It's a cylinder.
Yeah.
I saw these and I just thought it was interesting. I was like, okay, these are from Korea. And I just thought these are going to be horrible. It's going to be just plain rice. No, it was better than I thought.
They're pretty good.
It was a rice cake, right? Like the puffed rice cakes.
Oh, I always think rice cakes taste worse.
It's just a different shape.
Yeah, they also had
There's a slight sweetness to it, but it's not like sweet.
Yeah, I just got the rice rolls, not the wheat rolls as well, because I thought those would just be too grainy.
Because all the rice cakes I've had are more savory.
Well, these are gluten-free. Those would not be, I'm sure. These are gluten-free, low sodium, vegan, low fat, no cholesterol. So
also, it makes it look like you're smoking just a giant cigarette and you put it in the corner of your mouth. You're like, I gotta smoke a cigar like a... So,
that was the first thing I noticed.
Yes, we have pictures.
Did you do that with chopsticks even?
Somebody hurt his mouth with a chopstick in it.
Yes, I told that story a few weeks ago.
I know.
Any kind of there's a round thing to kind of make it a cigarette for a second and then...
No, not chopsticks. Those are too long and thin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're smoking.
You can pretend you're one of those ladies that has a cigarette at the end of a long...
Miss Scarlet.
Virginia Slims. Yeah.
Okay. So those are the rice rolls. Not bad. Crunchy, airy. Hint of sweetness. Better than a rice cake. So we had something else that's called Turkish Delight.
Yes, this from the UK, Turkish Delight, which it's something. Now I mentioned last week, Danny had not heard of the Chronicles of Narnia, the Lion the Witch, the Wardrobe, but that's a snack there that the witch uses to tempt the children, and so I
was never tempted by witches.
Oh, really?
Well, what is that supposed to be?
I've heard some of your dating stories. Anyway,
they seemed nice at the time.
But yeah, so this was always, at least when I was growing up, I know a lot of my friends too, if you read that book, you're like, oh, what's Turkish Delight? It must be really good.
I've had them before.
Yeah, I have had this before, and I had a really low opinion of it when I tried it. But this, I did not hate.
They're they're nuts in a gel coated in powdered sugar, yet somehow they're not that sweet.
It kind of reminded me of remember the gift box from Japan?
How could I forget?
You had the actual
you mean the
formal,
gift packaged one?
the packaged gift wrapped box.
I found those sweeter than this.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, but without the beans inside. But instead,
and this is a little chewier.
This is very gelatinous. It's like very hard.
It's chewier.
Yeah, very.
And it has
much
a nut,
and it's covered with powdered sugar as well.
Drenched in powdered sugar, but it's somehow not super sweet.
So these have,
and that's a positive that it's not super sweet.
There were 3 different kinds. It was pistachio.
Are we sure it's powdered sugar and not cornstarch?
Oh, we can double check. But it was pistachio, hazelnut, and almonds. And it's funny because they all look the same, so I think I had each of them.
I had a pistachio and a hazelnut, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's cornstarch and powdered sugar together.
Okay.
To help it keep it less sticky, but not that sweet.
Could be. Anyway, we like them.
Yeah, so if you see these and you're curious, try them out. Unless you're allergic to nuts, then obviously.
Yeah, avoid these at all costs.
There was a package as well that just had the pistachios, and I was like, no, because that's not my favorite kind of nut.
What?
Yeah.
You know what pistachios?
I would rather have hazelnuts or almonds.
I like almonds.
I love pistachios, but I can only buy the ones in shells.
Because otherwise you just eat them all.
It slows me down.
Yeah, I need the ones in the shells as well. And then we had something called Amaretti cookies.
Yes,
I love these.
From Italy.
Amaretti di pesce. What's a cheesecake cookie?
It's a peach cheesecake.
Something like that.
Right? Or did I misread
I know there's
the
peach
words?
in there. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I just know every time I go to an Italian grocery, I always buy amaretto cookies.
These are small little cookies, but they're so good.
They're almost like meringue cookies, but they're not.
Yes, that's what it reminded me of. They kind of had the texture
size and shape,
of a biscotti as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't love them as much. I was expecting something different. I mean, they're fine for a little...
I think those would be... If you're a coffee drinker, they'd be good with coffee.
Yes, they would be good.
Yeah, they kind of dissolve a little bit.
Yeah.
And they soak stuff up.
It also reminded me kind of a molasses cookie, the texture.
You know what they're really good for? They're actually a really good road trip cookie because you can get a big bag of them and you're not going to eat... 40 of them. Like there's some cookies where you eat a couple and you would pause, but everyone will be satisfying, but you're not going to plow through a bag in one sitting.
Because these weren't overly sweet, but they were sweet enough where you didn't need to keep eating them.
Yeah, Danny's eating more of the crunchy rice cake roll, whatever. And you can tell it's crunchy.
I did the cigar thing, and now I have to eat it.
Okay, then. Oh, so...
Did you ever get that right? Once you have the food in your hand, what else are you gonna do?
I put mine down.
Well, that's kind of why I ate the extra popping candy cookie because I was tearing it apart.
Yeah, and you put the lid back on the Pringles.
I know, because I was going to eat too many of them.
Eat those too, yeah. And I think we've eaten all of the visible Kaleidos.
Oh, those were understuffed as well, though. So Oreo's not the only one that has that problem.
Yeah, the packaging, you open it up and...
There's room for another 2 cookies.
But not as bad as the Oreos.
Not as bad, no.
The limited edition Oreos, yeah. Danny, you said that they're going back to these for just a second. You said you saw a lot. Were there any unique flavors that...
This was the most unique. Most of the others were just, like mint and peanut butter. Similar to what...
I want peanut butter.
Yeah, but you could get an Oreo.
You can get the Oreo.
I know, but to compare...
Well, then go to Kroger's and do that. I just saw popping candy, and I was like a moth to a flame. If you want to go back to my old dating stories, which...
Burned by the fire.
I don't even know that I have old dating stories.
Okay, we're going off the rails here, so we're just going to end this up.
Fine.
Wait, we want to talk about Danny's dating stories.
That's a different podcast. And I know some of it involves Vegas, which is another podcast.
Oh, I need to have a Las Vegas podcast. I just need a better co-host.
So find us on social media.
You went once, and we had to drag you there.
He was directing that to Brian.
Yeah. Amy's Vegas with me.
A couple times.
Amy's way too well behaved to like do the Vegas podcast. I need like another real degenerate.
See, we're really
I'm not
off the
offended
rails.
anymore. So.
Okay, yeah.
Bring it back to food. We enjoyed, I think, everything we ate today.
It was a much better experience, yeah, than previous episodes.
So thanks for listening to the end. Assuming you're still listening, go find us on social media. You know how. Leave us reviews. We're needy. And
We're so needy.
We're very needy.
And
if you made it to the end,
oh dear Lord,
send one of us a message on social media and tell us. Oh no, wait, you know what? Don't, because if we don't get any messages, then we're gonna be really upset. So forget it. Don't do that, because if we only get hear from one person, we're gonna cry. Have a good week, everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a terrific week, everyone.
Have the best week of your life.
Make it a great week. You earned it.
Ta-ta.